They call him the GOAT for his goals. But the truth is, his deadliest weapon isn't his left foot, it's his brain. Messi doesn't just play football, he bends it. The way he scans the field like a human radar, the way he slows the game down until everyone else looks stuck in time, the way he makes world-class defenders, guys at the very top of the sport, look like they don't even belong on the same pitch. That's not luck, that's not instinct, that's psychology at its most brutal. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on the Messi mindset, the mental edge that made him untouchable. Welcome to Innerverse, where we dive deep into the psychology behind greatness. And if you've ever wondered how Messi's mind works, you're about to find out. But here's the thing, legends aren't born unstoppable. They're shaped by struggle. And Messi's story didn't start with glory, it started with doubt. When he was just a kid in Rosario, Argentina, doctors told him he had a growth hormone deficiency. In plain words, his body wasn't going to grow the way it should. For a boy dreaming of football, that diagnosis was like a death sentence. Too small, too weak, too fragile. Most kids would have given up right there. Most parents would have told their son to choose another dream. But Messi didn't fold. His family didn't fold either. His father worked extra hours. His relatives chipped in. Anything to cover the expensive treatments that could keep his dream alive. And this is where psychology kicks in. What Messi built at that age wasn't just skill, it was resilience. Resilience is that mental muscle that lets you push through pain, through doubt, through every voice telling you it's impossible. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about using hardship as fuel. For Messi, every injection, every setback, every moment, he felt like the smallest kid on the pitch. It all became part of his armor. He wasn't just playing to win. He was playing to prove that nothing, not even biology, could write his story for him. That's the Messi mindset from day one. Don't run from your struggle. Use it to sharpen your edge. But struggles were only the beginning, because once Messi stepped onto the pitch, something different happened. Something almost eerie. Watch him closely. At the start of a game, he's not sprinting, he's not throwing himself into every play. Most of the time, it looks like he's just walking, hands at his side, head slightly tilted, almost like he's invisible out there. But here's what's really going on. While everyone else is burning energy trying to make an early impact, Messi is scanning. His eyes move left, right, forward, back. He's mapping the defense, studying player habits, locking every movement into memory. It's like watching a computer run in the background. Then, out of nowhere, the switch flips. He goes from walking to unstoppable in a heartbeat. A defender lunges, Messi slips past, another closes in, Messi changes angle before they can even react. To the crowd, it looks like magic. To psychology, it's flow state. Flow state is when your brain and body sync up so perfectly that time almost slows down. Athletes describe it as being in the zone. For Messi, it's more than that. It's his secret weapon. He conserves energy, builds a mental map, and then strikes at the exact second when defenders least expect it. That's why he makes world-class players look like amateurs. They're reacting in real time, but Messi is already 3 steps ahead, operating inside their blind spots. But flow state is not the whole story. Because football is not only about skill, it is also about pressure. The lights, the crowd, the weight of expectation. Pressure is the one thing that crushes even the greatest players. Some players freeze in big games. You see it in their body language, the nerves, the hesitation, the shaky first touch. But Messi treats the biggest stages like they are just another park game in Rosario. Think about it. A World Cup final. The hopes of an entire nation, 40 million people, resting on his shoulders. Cameras in his face, millions watching around the world. The kind of pressure that makes most people crumble. And Messi? He walks out calm, loose, almost casual. He does not fight the pressure. He absorbs it. Psychologists call this a challenge state. Instead of seeing pressure as a threat, he flips it into opportunity. His brain is not saying, do not mess this up. It is saying, this is the moment I was built for. That small mental shift changes everything. heart rate, decision-making, even confidence. And that is why, when it matters most, Messi does not shrink. He expands. Penalty shootouts, knockout stages, finals. His game does not collapse under pressure. It elevates. Because while others are battling their own nerves, Messi is already locked in, free, playing with joy in the exact moment that should break him. That is the real difference. The greatest do not escape pressure. They master it, and Messi is living proof. But even mastering pressure is not the end of the story, because greatness is not only about how you perform, it is also about how you lift the people around you. And this is where Messi's leadership becomes fascinating. Unlike many captains, Messi is not the one screaming in the locker room or throwing speeches before a game. His leadership is quiet, almost invisible, yet incredibly powerful. Watch him with his teammates. A tap on the shoulder, a small smile, a gesture that says, "I trust you." He does not command with words. He leads with presence. That calm, collected energy he carries spreads through the entire squad. When he is composed, everyone else feels composed. Psychologists call this emotional contagion, the transfer of emotions from one person to another. In Messi's case, his calm confidence becomes the team's calm confidence. His belief becomes their belief. That is emotional intelligence at the highest level. And here is the key. Leadership is not about being the loudest in the room. It is about creating an environment where others can perform at their best. Messi shows that leadership can be quiet, humble, and deeply human. And in many ways, that is even more powerful than shouting from the sidelines. But leadership alone does not explain how Messi has stayed at the top for nearly 2 decades, because talent can win you games, but only obsession and discipline can build an empire. Here is the truth. Messi's story is not only about genius, it is about consistency, the kind of consistency that most people cannot even imagine. While defenders changed, managers rotated, and even entire football eras came and went, Messi kept delivering season after season. That is not luck. That is psychology. Psychologists talk about the power of deliberate practice, the ability to repeat the same drills, the same movements, thousands of times until they become second nature. For most athletes, the repetition gets boring. For Messi, it becomes an art form. His obsession with refining the small details is what keeps him sharp when others fade. And here is the deeper layer. Obsession without discipline burns out. Discipline without passion runs dry. Messi found the perfect balance. He has the obsessive drive to perfect his craft, but also the discipline to show up every single day, even when the cameras are not watching. That is why, at 35, when most players slow down, Messi was still leading Argentina to a World Cup. Consistency is not built on motivation. It is built on habits. And Messi's habits are what turned raw talent into timeless greatness. And that brings us to the bigger picture, because Messi's story is not only about football. It is about psychology, resilience, and what it really takes to chase greatness in any field. From the boy who was told he was too small to the man who lifted the World Cup, every step of his journey proves one thing. Talent might open the door, but mindset is what keeps it open. So if we break down Messi's psychology, the blueprint for greatness comes down to 3 powerful lessons we can all use in our own lives. Lesson 1. Flow is not magic, it is focus. Messi shows us that when you fully lock into the moment, distractions fade, decisions sharpen, and performance feels effortless. Lesson 2. Pressure is not the enemy, it is fuel. Messi reminds us that the biggest moments are not there to break us, they are there to reveal us. Lesson 3. Greatness is not built on one big breakthrough. It is built on discipline, on showing up every single day, on the small habits that compound into mastery over time. And when you put all 3 lessons together, the picture becomes clear. Messi is not just a footballer. He is a living case study in the psychology of mastery. His journey proves that greatness is never about shortcuts or destiny. It is about a mindset, resilience, and the consistency to keep moving forward when others stop. And here is where it hits home. The same mindset that carried Messi through roaring stadiums and World Cup pressure can carry you through the arenas of your own life. Your battles may not have millions watching, but they matter just as much. The way you show up, the way you push forward, that is your version of chasing greatness. This is Innerverse, the place where we break down the minds of legends and reveal the psychology that fuels extraordinary lives. If Messi's story lit a spark for you, subscribe, share this with someone chasing their own goals, and stay with us, because just like Messi's game, this journey is far from over, and the next chapter is only getting bigger.